Good evening, cult members. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is going to be our best attempt at a non-spoiler review of Maniac from Netflix.
Yep.
Thanks for watching and follow us on all of our social media, everything. We just finished watching this. We did it over a 3-day period.
Yeah.
It's only 10 episodes. No episode is more than 45 minutes, so they're not big, long episodes.
Yeah, most of them about a half hour.
About a half an hour or so. But it is not an easy watch. And what I mean by that is you have to pay attention to what's going on. You can't just
Yeah.
There was multiple times when we were in the episode and I'd close my computer because I needed to pay attention to what was going on.
Yes, but not at the level that you need to pay attention in Legion.
Right.
We've actually trained ourselves to, focus on all the little things going on in the background. And you didn't quite have to do that here.
Yeah.
It was more visual.
Legion
stuff.
Legion is much more visual, I feel.
No, well.
This was much more dialogue based than Legion, but you still had to pay attention to the ads in the background and the details of the truck or the twins or that kind of thing and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
The story is about two, I'm going to say, lost individuals who haven't been able to deal with their mental issues. And I don't mean that by they are crazy or anything like that. Just, depression and...
Yeah, well, I mean, she, we could kind of talk about this. She, her mother left her when she was very young and left her and her sister, and then her sister dies. So she's got all that to deal with, and then, and that's Emma Stone.
Right.
And then Jonah Hill's character, his family is just mentally abusive.
He's like the redheaded stepchild of the whole family.
And they're super mentally abusive, and so he is maybe a little crazy, but it's from that.
Right. And the idea behind this is that there is a pharmaceutical company. There is a company with a pharmaceutical wing that is working on fixing the brain, and they talk about that in the trailer. Justin Trudeau is the second of the two doctors. The first doctor, something happens to him, and they have to bring Justin Trudeau back, and he has his own mental issues that he has to deal with, and
which is
stuff
kind of why he started this, and he's working with another female doctor, and same thing. She doesn't go outside. Was that what her thing was? And he has mommy issues, so they all were broken people trying to get fix
themselves, and they were doing it through a guided drug thing, and and that's where the different scenes of them playing different characters and going through different things, and each stage was to trigger something and to have something happen. And so in the real world itself, it was kind of set in the the futuristic 80s. Everything's kind of a little dirty, and there's this futuristic stuff. There's a dog waste cleanup robot or whatever,
like an iRobot, but it cleans up after dog poop.
And you can hire
hire a friend,
and you give them a script, and they will go along with the script and that kind of thing. And so it's
then the printers were dot matrix, and the computer was very
DOS based
70s kind of. The architecture was very 60s 70s.
And then when you got into the dream states, each of one of them, they kind of had a different feel of time period and different things, and it was because it was all inside their brains, and that part what really allowed them, both as storytellers, that Cary Fukunaga, who is the creator and director of all these episodes, it gave him an opportunity to play with all these different toys.
Yep.
And then it also gave Emma Stone and Jonah Hill the ability to play in all these different roles.
Yeah.
And
it's a 10-episode show, but they got to be mobsters and like
a thief.
And in 80s, like he had a mullet and a hockey jersey, and she
I
spoke
forgot
with
about
a
that. Yeah.
New York or a Jersey accent
With the llamas. Gotta get
with
the
the llamas.
And then there was a fantasy element, and there was like a high political drama.
Yeah.
And like there was like all these. So it gave them the chance. And when you think of Jonah Hill, now I really like Jonah Hill and a lot of his roles that he's done, but in the most part, he kind of plays a similar tone for a lot of the different things that he's done.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I like that tone, especially since he's lost all the weight the right way this time.
Yeah.
His bobblehead isn't going big time. But in this role, he has this underlying emotional state that is affected by all the different characters he plays, but he's able to stretch himself and have different accents and learn different languages and do different things that I never expected him to be able to do. And there was multiple times in the show where I was like, Jonah Hill's like really doing a good job here. Like I was really impressed. And
I thought they both did.
And that's what I was supposed to say. And then Emma Stone comes in and does just a little bit better of a job. And then Jonah Hill comes back on the screen and does just a little bit better job than that. And they kind of like keep going on and on.
I was totally buying into every genre that they did, every little mini scene that they did. I was totally buying in.
I would really love to sit here and spend probably half an hour talking about just what they were actually doing within the testing itself, like what they were actually trying to fix. And they talk about fixing the brain, but what there's actually something else they're really doing.
Right.
And this is another show that I've noticed that the finale, the climax of the story, is the episode before the end.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the end, the last episode, the finale, is...
It's like an epilogue.
It's like, like an epilogue. And you got to get a little bit more closure than you thought you needed, or maybe they ask a few more questions and stuff like that.
Yep.
And this one does that. And so it's definitely worth the sit-down binge, like I said, you could probably do it in a day if you started in the morning. We didn't start it till like 5 or 6 in the afternoon, and we got through 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So...
Again, most of the episodes are a half an hour. I think the second to the last one was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But most of them are half an hour. So
I would also like to thank them for, we've talked about this in the past, not fluffing up the episodes, not adding in a couple extra, here's a story, we have 10 episode story, but we're to make 13 out of it and make them all an hour long and stuff like that. One of the reasons I liked Iron Fist so much this year is because it was 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So there was no dicking around. You're going.
Yeah.
This was 10 episodes. This is going to be the only one. They've already said that Cary Fukuyama has already said we're not doing a season 2.
Yeah.
And so now if they do an anthology series and they call it Maniac and they have a different person come in and deal with that kind of stuff, that would be kind of
almost
cool.
like a Black Mirror type.
Where that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they've already said that this is it. So they have a. If we're nice and say every episode's 45 minutes and it's 10 episodes, it's a 4-hour movie. So they told this story.
It would be more than that if each episode was 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
And
Oh, you're right. That's
sorry,
I was told there was no math on the show.
It'd be like 8 hours.
Okay, so it's an 8-hour. We'll say it's a 6.5-hour show.
A 3-hour tour.
Yeah, 3 hour. So this was a story that couldn't have been told within a movie setting without doing multiple movies.
Yeah.
And I think it wouldn't have made as much sense because they were able to do each day as the kind of its own like 2-episode arc, and I really appreciated that too.
Yeah, I don't think you could have made this into a movie in this is kind of where streaming binging has really helped
Yeah.
the art, I guess, because it never would have been a movie. It wouldn't have worked, and you'd have to have done multiple movies, and I don't think you could have kept people's attention for that long for two movies. And it would never have been a series, a full-on series, because there just isn't enough to talk about. I mean, it was the perfect length.
Yeah.
It was like, I really want more, but I'm happy with what I got. I'm satisfied with what I got.
Yeah, and the stuff that I want more of is more of the brain stuff when they're in the brain.
Yeah, I just wanted I wanted to follow Jonah, Annie, and Owen. I wanted to follow them and see what happened next.
Yeah. It's overall, I'm super happy with this. We talked about it on TV Time. This was a trailer that dropped, and they said, "Hey, it's coming out in 3 days," and we're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm super happy with the way it's done.
Yeah,
we're not gonna score it. We're gonna do the scoring stuff for our movies, but for our TV stuff, what we'll say is, sit down and watch it this weekend.
Yeah, it is. You know, with the hit and miss of a lot of the stuff that Netflix has done lately, and we've talked about, they're just dropping a ton of stuff and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
This definitely sticks.
This definitely sticks, and it will probably be a watch again.
Yeah, I could totally
somewhere
watch
down
it
the line
again.
again.
Totally.
So definitely worth the watch. Definitely binge it and do it over a weekend, and let us know what you thought of Maniac. Is on Netflix, and if you don't already have Netflix, please do. And when you tell them that Pop Culture's Cult sent you, they can give us a check. No,
they'll give you a discount, $11.99 a month.
$11.99 a month. So please watch the show and then come back and tell us what you thought of it, and if you have thoughts on the whole process and everything else. You can also like this video while you're here. You're already subscribed. If you are, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please do. There's a button up here. Hit the subscribe button. You can get a hold of us, too, on our social media network. We're at pop_cult1 on Twitter. I'm going to do this backwards, aren't I? PopCultureCult1 on Instagram and PopCultureCult on Facebook. See what happens when I do it backwards? I got it all out. There's links in the description and all of the buttons and everything. We're also on the Stardust app. Download it for free. React to everything you're watching, including Maniac from Netflix. And until next time, good night now.